Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Emily Carmen. Thank you for joining us. An alarming statistic came out of Banner Health this morning. According to Dr. Marjorie Bessel, there was a 137% increase in child COVID-19 cases or suspected cases in August from the numbers in July.
During the month of August, 412 pediatric patients at Banner hospitals were either admitted or placed in observation status with COVID or suspected COVID. This is higher than the month prior when we only saw 174 pediatric patients that were COVID positive or suspected COVID. As I've stated previously, most pediatric patients do not require ICU level of care or ventilators. This still remains the case at our Banner hospitals. The number of pediatric patients in our ICUs, luckily, remains very low.
Dr. Bessel also notes that schools requiring kids to wear masks were seeing far fewer cases. She says that mask wearing and vaccination remain the best way to protect children from COVID-19. And that's what a group of Maricopa County health officials is asking for. They sent a letter to the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors asking them to implement a county-wide mask mandate for all grade-level schools. More than 1,060 physicians, healthcare workers, and public health professionals signed the letter. New data shows that children 12 and younger account for 1 in every 6 COVID infections in Maricopa County. Several doctors spoke today, advocating for the urgency of this mandate due to an alarming number of COVID outbreaks in schools.
The need for action is urgent. It is immediate. It is right now. And every day that we fail to act and require universal masking or take significant action to improve the air quality and the air filtration in classrooms, so many additional children and teachers and school staff are becoming infected.
The state legislature's law prohibiting mask and vaccine mandates in schools does not go into effect until September 29th, which is why the letter urges the county to implement a mandate now. The Maricopa County Board of Supervisors held a formal board meeting today, but did not discuss the letter or implementing a mask mandate at schools. A cancer survivor, Arizona seniors, and a young woman battling diabetes. They are just some of the Arizona residents who gathered at the state capitol yesterday for the Protect Our Care bus tour. Cronkite News reporter Camila Williams was there and learned more about their fight to make healthcare accessible for all.
I could have died.
It was a cry for help, but also a call to action.
I know I'm not alone. Arizonans like me need lower drug prices now.
Aisha Meza came to the Protect Our Care event at the Arizona State Capitol to tell her story.
At the age of 21, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
Protect Our Care is a nationwide organization advocating for lower prescription drug prices and affordable health care for all Americans. The group has been traveling the country to spotlight the stories of people like 30-year-old Meza, those who struggle to pay for care they need.
I think people need to know that it's not just seniors that are struggling with affording their prescription drugs. It's also young adults like myself.
Mesa said she had to switch to a different and less effective insulin because her medication went up to $275 per vial.
The hospital didn't really provide me with a lot of resources as far as more affordable insulin.
State Representative Kelly Butler wants to make sure that people of color have the same access to health care as everyone else.
We need to research ways where we can make sure that community health centers are funded, that people have that access to the Affordable Care Act marketplace and know where to get that care.
In Phoenix, Camila Williams, Cronkite News.
Protect Our Care has traveled across the country to advance American healthcare. Some of the final stops on the tour include Tucson, San Diego, and Las Vegas. The last U.S. military plane left Afghanistan Monday afternoon at 3:29 Eastern Time, ending America's longest war. The U.S. completed the withdrawal one day before President Biden's official deadline. The Pentagon evacuated more than 120,000 people since August 14th. This includes more than 6,000 Americans. But the last few weeks were filled with chaos at Kabul's international airport. The struggle to evacuate cost the lives of 13 American soldiers and left Afghan allies behind. The war may be over, but for one coalition of human rights organizations, the mission in Afghanistan is not complete.
We left tens of thousands of people behind. And some people might suggest, well, we could have just kept troops there indefinitely. And that's not what I'm suggesting. 20 years is a long time to be in conflict. And I was grateful as a veteran that this war had come to an end, but it didn't have to end this way.
Research from Wartime Allies, a member of the coalition, estimate nearly 250,000 Afghans who may be eligible for expedited American visas are still in the country. The coalition will continue to evacuate these Afghan civilians, recommend legislation to speed up the visa process, and support resettlement in the United States. It didn't take long for the Biden administration's handling of the evacuation in Afghanistan to come under fire from Republicans on Capitol Hill. Critics included a lawmaker from Arizona, as Cronkite News reporter Simon Williams reports from our Washington bureau.
Hours after the last planes left Afghanistan, Republicans in the House are calling for the resignation or impeachment of several members of the executive branch, including President Joe Biden.
We call upon most somberly the resignation of this President Joe Biden.
But Biden isn't the only one the group is targeting.
We need new, competent leadership at the State Department, and it starts with the resignation or impeachment of the Secretary.
The group also wants to impeach the Secretaries of Defense, Homeland Security, and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Their comments came shortly before the president defended his decision to end America's forever war, saying he would not engage in a forever exit.
The decision to end the military airlift operations at Kabul airport was based on the unanimous recommendation of my civilian and military advisors.
But some Republicans worry about the Afghans brought to America as much as the ones left behind.
I have other former intel that are telling me people that are being brought in here, there is a significant percentage that are future Boston Marathon bombers.
A 40-minute press conference turned into Republicans singing their greatest hits, but the common theme was that they wanted Speaker Nancy Pelosi to call the House of Representatives back into session for a vote, which is not set to happen until September 20th at the earliest. In Washington, Simon Williams, Cronkite News.
Your Arizona driver's license and state ID could soon go digital. Apple announced Arizona will be among the first states to introduce the digital wallet option to its residents. The company says the wallet feature is more convenient and secure than carrying physical cards. TSA is working with Apple to create lanes in some airports for travelers to use the digital IDs as identification. The director of Arizona's Department of Transportation says the new technology is something everyone should consider. Rain has affected many homes in Arizona lately, especially if you have a leaky roof. And that was the case in the Footprint Center last night, home of the Phoenix Mercury. The team's game against the Chicago Sky last night was nearly canceled due to rain leaking into the arena. Guard Kia Nurse said it was like a tropical rainstorm in there. The rainfall forced fans to be relocated from their seats, and nearly half of the arena sections were closed off. Luckily, the game did go on as the Mercury won their 7th straight to clinch a playoff spot.
It didn't affect anybody. I think we just went out there. We would never put the players in the harm's way. I think we had it under control. We had so many people, doing everything, running in and out.
The Mercury's next game will be this Saturday, September 4th, against the Indiana Fever at 10 a.m. Arizona time. And now, a look back at some of our top sports stories, including a look at some of the Phoenix Suns' top players.
Only 12 athletes were selected to the 2021 USA women's basketball roster, and 3 of them are members of the Phoenix Mercury. This year, the WNBA All-Star team will take on Team USA to help prepare them for the Tokyo Olympics. Cronkite sports reporter Aaron Slindy tells us how excited the Phoenix trio is to represent their state and their country.
This year's WNBA All-Star game is going to be different than most. The WNBA decided the players selected to Team USA will face the WNBA All-Star team on Wednesday in Las Vegas.
I don't think it'll be the traditional setting that you see in I know I ain't letting nobody get no free layup.
No free layups.
But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a competitive environment. You know, at the end of the day, we're all competitors. We all love this game, and we all want to win.
3 players from the Phoenix Mercury will represent the red, white, and blue. Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, and Skylar Diggins-Smith will be playing for Team USA this year.
It's just a higher level, more intensity, I think. You know, of course, the Olympics is the highest tier. And then, you know, it kind of trickles down from there.
The main purpose of the game is to help Team USA prepare for the Olympics. USA will be going for their 7th straight gold medal, a streak that hasn't been broken since some of the players have been born. But with the level of international basketball getting higher each year, the players understand how crucial this game is to their preparation.
For right now, I'm just focusing on what I could do to help our team win a gold and whatever or however big of or small of a role that is.
Although many of these athletes have spent the entire year competing against one another, they are looking forward to playing on the same team.
You know, it's not often you get to do what you love with people you really care about and you have a great friendship with, you know, beyond the court. And, you know, we've been able to do it together every step of the way.
Team USA will continue to train together in Las Vegas, playing exhibition games versus Australia and Nigeria before heading to Tokyo. In Phoenix, Erin Slindy, Cronkite News.
Taurasi said she will not play in the All-Star game to make sure she is ready for the Olympics.
Suns fans have grown accustomed to seeing the stars of the team, like Devin Booker and Chris Paul, shine. But many players that you don't see as much have worked hard to help get the Suns to where they are today. Cronkite sports reporter Erin Slindy took a deep dive into the career of Suns point guard Javon Carter, aka the Bulldog, and his path to the NBA.
Javon Carter was once a Mountaineer.
Carter's fadeaway, got it over the freshman Hunter.
Now he is fighting to win his first NBA championship with the Suns.
He had to prove himself. He had to get better. He had to show people that he could play at this level.
Carter wasn't a highly recruited player. Many people thought he was too undersized to play on the big stage. They thought he was good, but not good enough to make it.
He focused on his defense. So he would focus on things that he knew he was good at.
I look for my mistakes, you know, see what I can fix. You know, that's always something I'm doing wrong, and I'm just trying to figure out how can I fix it and not make the same mistake twice.
Carter spent every moment he had while he was at WVU improving his game. He was getting extra shots even when no one was looking.
A lot of players, you know, just expect things to come to them because they are talented, and they don't realize that no matter how talented you are, you need to work at everything you do.
Carter proved his doubters wrong, both on and off the court. Carter was the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year and an academic All-American. Now he could soon be an NBA champion, with Mountaineer Nation standing behind him.
Here at West Virginia, we're really proud of him, happy for him, and we hope the Suns come back with that championship.
In Phoenix, Erin Slindy, Cronkite News.
Wheelchair rugby is a sport you don't hear about often, but Cronkite sports reporter Erin Slindy tells us how one local Arizona athlete's love for this unique sport brought him to the top.
Joe Jackson has always had a passion for high-intensity sports. After watching Murderball, the wheelchair rugby documentary, he knew he had found his calling.
After that, I was sold. Like, okay, getting a chair, I'm gonna find a team, and I'm gonna work my way up.
Jackson was paralyzed from the chest down in a football accident in 2005. But he hasn't let his injury stop him from doing what he loves.
I mean, I'm the smallest guy out there, one of them, and I like to hit, like to try and make plays, just be an athlete.
Jackson is a member of the 3-time national winning Phoenix Heat. Last year, Jackson was training to be on the 2020 Paralympic team until the pandemic hit and the games were canceled. There were many limitations on the athletes and strict protocol when it came to their training. But Jackson never quit reaching for his goal, to be a Paralympian.
He's been working through COVID, pushing with a mask on by himself in the gym.
Joe Jackson spent many summers training to be one of the best wheelchair rugby players in the nation. This year, he will be one of 12 members to represent Team USA at the 2021 Paralympics in Tokyo.
Just to represent the USA at the highest level and try to bring back a gold.
The support Jackson gets from his friends, family, and the Paralympic community make the sacrifice he has made to get to this point worth it.
It's like a little family, even at the local level. So here, all these guys are great friends of mine, and we learn from each other. It's like our own little support group because we're all going through somewhat similar situations.
USA has not won a medal since 2008 and is looking forward to taking down two-time defending champions Australia. In Phoenix, Aaron Slindy, Cronkite News.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on Break It Down, how the Delta variant is affecting unvaccinated children. That's next. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.